Wake up, everybody. Even though it's the evening time. Wake up. Wake up. Let's get the market pumping. What's going on? Merry Christmas. I wore some Christmas gear. I got I've got my Rudolph sweater on, trying to mash the season. Oops. What did I just do? No. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Merry Christmas. Yeah, I want to talk about some bullish stuff. At least bullish for me. I mean, look at this. Look at this Pippin. Now look at this. Look at this for the year. There we go. Look at this for the year. Watch this. Look at this for the year. This is Crypto Bubble's top 100, right? Now, whose community called Pippin? Whose community called Pippin? What do you think? This guy. Look at that. 4,500%. 45. Hold on, let me there we go. Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. Look at this. This is interesting. What is this dark red? Crazy, right? But it's Christmas and it has a nice Christmas present on here. So that's pretty damn good news, at least for this guy and everybody else in my community who bought into Pippin. Yeah, that's amazing, right? Jesus Christ. What Pippin did over the last month has been insane. It's just like 6 weeks ago, it was like at a 10 million market cap. Even though I called it earlier this year. All right, here's the all-time chart, right? And if you zoom in to here, you can see wild swings. And I've been swing trading and taking profits this whole time, just building my bag. And then now, here's this past month. It's crazy the way this thing has been pumping like crazy. Pippin, good old Pippin. Pippin be rippin'. Yeah. So what else we got going on? We got gold breaks new all-time high of 4,500, which is a good thing. Usually when gold makes this all-time high, it means that a few months later, whether it be 3 months or 6 months or whatever it may be, the Bitcoin is going to start pumping, right? Bitcoin is going to be ripping like Pippin. Yeah. And lots of bullish news. So more bullish news. So the S&P 500 just hit a new all-time high, closing above 6,900 for the first time ever. Yeah. Yeah. So there's like, yeah, this is my day, just looking at bullish news. So Circle minted 1.5 billion worth of USDC over the last week, included 500 million issued today, which is good. That means they're expecting some pumps. Yeah. And Ghana passes a new law to legalize the use of Bitcoin and crypto. Well, it's about goddamn time, right? But it's good news. More governments are buying into things, which means that things are going to be pumping. It's going to be the biggest goddamn bull run ever, even though it's going to be the longest bull run ever, right? Because I keep on saying 2027. I've been saying that. I've been saying that like 6-8 months ago when these 4-year cycle zombies were saying we're going to have our cycle top in the end of 2025, and it ain't happening. But I've been saying 2027 for a while now. Some people are saying 2026, but they're vibing. They're coming along. I don't think it's going to be 2026. I think it's going to be a relatively good year. Oh no, but we got some bad news. Okay, and I had nonstop bullish news for you guys, but we got some bad news. The probability of a Fed rate cut in January it dropped to 13.3%, down from 28.8%. Yeah, I literally just bought Kaspa 10 minutes ago. Also, I bought physical silver in 2015 for $13 gold at 1100. Okay, yeah, cool. 1100. Yeah, that's kind of cheap. Yeah. But there's like I say when I was pulling up the charts, when I did this I think I'm into gold. I mean, I have physical gold, but I think gold is more for like a zombie apocalypse type scenario. The gold is more for like the end of the world, you know, like something happened. There's some sort of an EMP, like a keratin event. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a keratin event, which is a worldwide EMP that's caused by the sun. The last time that happened was like in the late 1800s when there wasn't too much technology around. Something like that would reset us. So it's good to have gold because crypto isn't going to do any good if none of the servers can turn on. So, but when I was like, okay, I was comparing Bitcoin relative to gold. Did I put a Z right there? What did I do? And I was like, okay, Bitcoin hasn't really done anything this cycle, right? Bitcoin has only kept up with inflation, but it had matched PMI, which is relatively interesting. I was like, okay. So, but I'm like, gold's price is relatively constant because its inflation of gold is very, very low. Only right now when people start lining up and they start buying into it, and they, it's always a horrible idea to buy gold at the top because it stabilizes, right? It's just it's not going to be pretty. And it's not overall, it's not a good investment unless you're just investing if like you're a prepper and stuff like that. But what I was doing here, so this is the top of last cycle compared to the top of this cycle so far. And hold on, did I do that right? Let's do it like this. It's easier to do if we expand it. So for those of you who haven't seen me do this, I've done this on quite a few videos so far. But if you compare Bitcoin from last cycle to this cycle's top so far, right? Because I believe we're going to have more all-time highs coming soon, but it's only Bitcoin has only increased by 9%, right? If you do Bitcoin relative to USD, obviously going from 68K to 126K, so it's almost like double. But that's just inflation of USD. So Bitcoin relative to gold doesn't look like it did anything, which matches the PMI chart, the business cycle, for those of you who are curious. But which is why once this starts going up, right? Once PMI starts going up, right? Like the rest of this, like these other cycles, right? Then Bitcoin's price is going to start going up. Not only going up relative to USD, but going up relative to gold, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be pretty damn awesome. But yeah, the probability of a Fed rate cut. Hold on, I feel like I get hot when I go on our live stream. Let me lower the temperature of my app. Hold on. But yeah, something really strange happened today. So yeah, we got this Fed rate probability, but we had this. I showed this in a video yesterday. This is what it's felt like for the last like 4 weeks, right? It's craziness. But we had our economic reports today. We had durable goods come in. We had durable goods come in at lower than expectations, lower than expected. So except defense month over month, durable goods, transportation a month over month, durable goods month over month, right? So lower than expected. So my assumption was like, oh, I was like, that's probably, you know, it's bad for the economy. It's not good news, it's bad news, but you know, bad news is good news. So let me check for some good news and go to the Fed rate monitor tool. And I'm like, holy crap, what's going on, man? I was like, what the hell? You know,
bruh.
It went, the probability of an interest rate cut went down rather than up after today's news. Now, when I checked it, I recall I sent this out a few hours ago to my community, and I was like, okay, you know, it's 14%, which is crazy. But now in the last few hours, it went back up to 17%. So it's fluctuating, but I would have assumed that it would have been more than previous week, right? Because previous week probability was 27%. I would assume after today's news about the durable goods, we should be inching up more, you know, but I guess not. So, oh well. Yeah, this is me in the last few months, right? Where crypto, what's that? Well, I don't know. So me in the last few months, work, buy crypto is crazy, right? So this guy. Oh yeah. When I was just telling you about gold, Bitcoin relative to the price of gold, you know, and then compared it to PMI. So this is the first time in all of PMI history, right? At least based on this chart going back to 1990, where we have PMI, you know, the ISM PMI. It's just a basket of 5 indexes that go together to measure the economy, the overall strength of the economy, right? They call it the business cycle, right? So this is the first time that PMI trends sideways for 4 years. Usually it goes up and then it comes back down, and it goes up and it comes back down. Usually you see the gray right here, those are recession. So it goes down, right? And that's the recession. It goes down, and that's the recession. Again, it goes down, and that's the recession. It goes down really quickly right here for COVID, for the shortest recession ever. But then it goes back up. But this time, we didn't fall into a recession, right? I know there's a technical recession back in like first quarter of 2023 or whatever, but yeah, we really didn't fall into a recession, and it's just been trending sideways without going all the way down and then back up. So the economy itself has been in a bear market all these years, these last 4 years. So we've been in the bear market, and Bitcoin has been in a bear market for 4 years, and it has only adjusted to inflation. So that's very interesting. So, which means that it should be only upwards from here. I'll talk about some of this. Oh, this is craziness right here. Look. My portfolio. It actually came back down and blew up on the people, man. That's crazy. You see that? Watch that again. It's crazy. Nuts, right? Oh, let's get rid of this one right here. Okay. I just bought up some Pepe. It's down huge. Yeah, really. I got a ton of Pepe, but yeah. Yeah, I'm sure almost everything, right, is on a discount, except for Pippin. The incredible Rippin' Pippin, where I'm up like 50x on it in just like 3 or 4 weeks. Imagine being in my community and then putting some money down on Pippin like 4 weeks ago. You'd be partying. You'd be like this, man. Making it big time. Big time. So, yeah. Now you put money on Kaspa too, but not nearly as much as Pepe. Would you suggest putting some of my Kaspa back into Pepe to group until I taking some of your Kaspa and putting it into Pepe to recoup until money back from my Kaspa loss? No, I don't. I mean, this isn't, there's no financial advice in this channel, right? So, never financial advice. It's like, don't think there's financial advice. You gotta be out of your mind if there's financial advice. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, just me, I wouldn't sell my Kaspa for Pepe. I mean, it's let me take a look at Pepe just for the coin market cap. Currencies. Is it not Pepe? All right, let's just go to coin market cap's homepage. Hold on. Coin market cap, go to Pepe. But yeah, I mean, Kaspa, Kaspa's at the bottom, right? So like, why would you sell at the bottom, right? I'm sure you're down. Like almost everybody's down on Kaspa unless you bought it like when it was under a cent or something, right? But what's Pepe looking like? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Pepe isn't that far down considering it's a meme coin and it's 1.6 billion. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, both Pepe and Kaspa are both very good plays. I mean, it's Pepe is a solid play, and it's on Coinbase and it's on Binance. It has things that Kaspa doesn't have. Obviously, Kaspa is a whole lot more in terms of what it is, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't sell Pepe. I wouldn't sell Kaspa for Pepe. If you want just DCA your way in, I don't know how much money you can allocate every week, every month, but just like buy a little bit extra Pepe if you want extra Pepe. I mean, that's what I would do. But yeah. Yeah, about this, I came across this article. Abu Dhabi global market approves USDT on Tron for regulated activities. So Tron is something that I've ignored for the most part, Tron. But Tron has been pretty damn good, right? So it had that unique scenario where it's made an all-time high, but it didn't beat its all-time high in its second bull run. But now in its third bull run, it beat its all-time high from its first bull run. So it's very, very interesting. A lot of investment going to Tron, but it's really strange. I remember doing a video comparing other, the top 20s and so on to Kaspa and so on. I remember when I was looking up Tron about, what it's all about. And from what I recall, it's like this it is a delegated proof of stake, which is a fancy way to say more centralized than centralized. I'm like, how the hell could you get more centralized than centralized? Somebody deserves I don't know. Here's a nice bitch slap right here. Yeah. More. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you? Centralized is bad, right? And I remember the way it was set up is more centralized and centralized. It's like 17 what is it, like 17 validators or something like that. So it's like it's highly centralized. I don't know why you would want to choose this. I mean, it's like it's yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I mean that's just, I don't want to start ranting about. I mean, like I think in the long run, this is one of the reasons why Kaspa is going to be a clear winner. Long run, I'm talking 5 years, 10 years. Because Kaspa is decentralized enough to it can't I want to say can't, but it's like virtually impossible to have a network takeover, right? To gain 50% control of the network and so on. It's like, I don't know, with something like this, you don't want a centralized entity to to dictate anything, right? You just want proof of work and you want decentralization, which is what Kaspa provides. So I think in the long run, Kaspa may be good for right now. And this is good news. This is bullish news overall for crypto. Obviously, more crypto is getting adopted, and it keeps on happening, and it brings more liquidity into the whole space, and it's very good for us. So hey, why not? Let's pump Tron for the meantime. Why the hell not? But in the long run, heads are going to turn to Kaspa, right? So I mean that's good. This is good news in the long run. I mean, good news for now, but in the long run, I mean, it's also good news because Kaspa is going to benefit as long as crypto benefits, right? So what else we got? Oh yeah, this is what I want Christmas. That's why I wore my Christmas uniform today, right? This is like beautiful, man. If somebody would get me something like this, it says ages 5 to 12, man. I mean, it should be much larger than 12 right here, man. It should be like from 12 onward, 12 to adults. I mean, that's like, it's crazy. Do I think Kaspa can get to 5 cents to $1 in 2026? Maybe. It's not like a hard yes or hard no in 2026 because, like I've been saying that the bull run top is in 2027, probably end of 2027. So can it get to $1 in 2026? I mean, it have to be pretty damn strong. Because the way was trading view the way let me go back to USD. The way Bitcoin looks right now is the way it looked in 2019. I get rid of this for a second. So this is previous cycle. I mean, it's not only the chart, right? The charts, the way Bitcoin looked right now, the chart here, this is 2019. And also the Bitcoin dominance chart looks similar, the way things are happening. Like total crypto market cap is going down, but Bitcoin dominance is going up just because they also going down faster than Bitcoin is going down, right? So Bitcoin is going down, but its dominance is increasing. Things like that. Plus, it was an end of QT in September 2019, end of QT in December 2025, and so on. Like everything right now looks like 2019, the end of 2019, right? Next year, we're going to have this huge burst of liquidity. Interest rates are going to start going down faster. We're going to have more rate cuts. We're going to get money printing, a massive amount of QE next year, which is similar to 2020. So, and then in 2020. So this is why it's like what could happen in 2026 if 2026 is going to be comparable to 2020, right? So we had COVID, right? And then let me do it like this. Let me get down here. Just can't see the dates. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is basically the chart in 2020, right after COVID. So it just start going up, and what happened was sort of like right around here in October of 2020 is almost like when the bull run started. So we were just doing pretty fine in 2019. Going down, right, at the same time, right, like we're doing right now, we're going down, right? And we started going up because there was interest rate cuts already started to happen. All right, let me turn on these indicators. Fed funds, and so, hold up. So if we do like this, oh, this really got messed up, didn't it? Oh man. So we had the Fed balance sheet increase, right? This is the dramatic increase of the Fed's balance sheet, so that's QE. And we had interest rates that had already started to go down. So this right here, if you look at the Fed balance sheet plus interest rates, and I'm assuming this is the way it looks right now for us. And then over here, right? Let me draw something over here, right? So right, so in this little section right here, I'm assuming that this is a way, like we're at the beginning of this circle right here, and this is a way it's going to look like next year, right? Right. So this right here is really 2019 going into 2020, right? But I'm assuming this is going to be the way it looks like, next year. So, anyways, so going back to the question that started me on this was that will Kaspa go to $1 this year? I mean, basically, if all that happens, the real pumps, like in 2020, the real pumps started in October, and we just started going up like crazy, right? So if the real pumps start, the bulls start running, it'll be like end of this year. Can Kaspa reach $1? No, this year. I'm thinking we're in 2026 already, right? So next year, right? So can Kaspa reach $1 by the end of 2026? I don't know. It depends on what type of fuel is being pumped into the economy, right? It depends on what Trump is doing, what the new Fed chair is going to be doing, things like that, right? So, but I think we're definitely going to do the whole dollar plus in 2027 by far. I think so. So yeah. How about this one? If you had $6,000 in ZBCN, would you keep it there or trade it for Pepe? Just or are you willing to over ZBCN? If I had, which is another pretty damn good play. Now, if I had $6,000 in ZBCN and I didn't have any Pepe, yeah, sure, I'd probably take out maybe 1,000 and put into Pepe. I mean, why not? Right? Depends on how. You have to think about how much are you diversified, right? Like if you don't have many tokens, some people don't, right? Because we have in my community, we have the portfolio channel where people share their portfolios with everybody, and everybody talks about it and gives advice. And I've seen some people that have just like 4 or 5 coins, right? So you want to diversify? Yeah, sure, diversify. I've also seen people who have like in the chat, like somebody dropped a message in one of my videos in the comment section, and I think they only had Kaspa and just one other token or something. So yeah, it's how to diversify. But yeah, totally. If I had like a low token count portfolio and I had 6,000 in ZBCN, sure. Not financial advice. Remember, I punch you in the goddamn balls if you think this is financial advice. No financial advice in this video. This is what happens to you. That's what happens to you if you think there's financial advice around here. There's no financial advice, Mr. Algorithm. Nobody gives financial advice in this video. Never! This is for entertainment purposes only. Bitcoin can't make what it did in 2019. Why? Oh, I didn't say that. Because the market cap now is very big. It won't go parabolic because... Oh, you're saying no, Bitcoin can't make what it did in 2019. But in 2019, it went down. Right? Right? I mean, this is 2019. I mean, you're telling me they can't do what it did in 20. This is 2019 right here. So this is June 2019, right? And we get the rate cut around here. And, you know, it goes down. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. I mean, essentially, Bitcoin didn't do nothing this entire cycle if you compare it relative to gold. It only went up by 9% if you compare it relative to gold. So it did almost a 2x from a 68K last cycle in USD to 126K. It's almost like a, you know, like a 2x. But in terms of purchasing power, it didn't really do anything. It just kept up with inflation of USD. So the pump, that's why I say the pumps are yet to come. The actual pumps that's going to show Bitcoin increasing in value and in purchasing power, those are yet to come because it didn't do anything yet. This has been a full-year bear market and we're still in it. We probably still going to, I mean, until we see PMI start trending upward, it's probably not going to happen for at least another 6 months. It could be sooner, it could be later, it could be 3 months. It also could be 9 months. It's just, you know, when is it going to start going up? We'll see. But after it goes up, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, man. Never financial advice. Are you out of your mind? But in my opinion, that's when Bitcoin is going to start going up. And like right now, we're going to see dominance go up, at least for a while. And eventually, PMI is going to start going up, and then Bitcoin dominance is going to go down. Pepe will come back fast on the ETH network. Yeah, I think Pepe, yeah. Okay, I got you. So you got Kaspa, ZBCN, and a little bit of Pepe. Oh, I see. Yeah, so diversify. I would say, you know, go out and you know, go find something else too. Try to find different narratives. You got your layer one. You got the best layer one to ever exist, which is Kaspa. You got ZBCN, which is a pretty damn good play. That's you know, like, what is it, like DeFi for transactions and so on. And then you got Pepe, which is like the best meme coin of the cycle, right? Is the safest meme coin. Is, you know, maybe Doge is the safest meme coin, but Pepe is from this cycle, right? So so yeah, I mean, try to find something else. Try to look into like another narrative, like RWAs. You know, try some Hondo, something like that. You know, or try something to do with AI. You know, like AI, like de-aging AI. We did a 130x back in October with de-aging AI. So it should be pumping. What's going on, man? Yo. Welcome to the best live stream ever, a Christmas live stream. What was I? So yeah, this is like, I wish I had this Christmas present. Maybe one day we should manufacture something like this. Anybody who's selling Kaspa merch, just start selling something like this, right? I'm sure you get some, you sell it for like, you have a high markup, right? So you're not losing money, right? And you get people buying like memorabilia. They'll buy this for like a pretty damn good penny. You know, whoever sells Kaspa merch, you know, let's just think about it. I'm not selling any merch. My specialty is making software to help my community members make tons of money. That's my specialty for now. So yeah, this is gonna be us. This is gonna be us in 2027 with Kaspa. And this was shared by Cast Media, right? Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's gonna be us, man. It's gonna be us. My man from Bogota, what's going on? What's she saying now? Is that Bitcoin started in January 2023? Yeah, we came out pretty damn early. We came out of the bear market. Bitcoin was like 18K in the US, and then the first pump was 65K, and the second was 27. The cycle started early. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at it from a USD perspective. I mean, that was just Bitcoin keeping up with inflation. I don't know if you saw. I'll just go back and I'll do it again in case you joined late. I've showed this in a lot of my videos. So gold's price is relatively the same, right? It stays flat throughout history, right? I remember, I did a really detailed video about gold like a few years back. It was like a really, really nice men's suit 1,000 years ago might have cost an ounce of gold, whereas a really, really nice men's suit today probably costs you around an ounce of gold, give or take a little bit. But so if you go to here, let's put the PMI over. So you notice the business cycle, like this looks very different if you're doing USD, right? It's like Bitcoin has just remained flat for 4 years. Totally. Now, if you change this, back to this is gold, right? So if you change it back to USD, you're going to be like, why does it do this all of a sudden? Because I had it like this before. Yeah. You're going to be like, okay, Bitcoin has been going up even though PMI has remained flat. You're going to be like, why is that, right? So it's like, it makes you think, okay, Bitcoin's price is going up. Yeah, its price has been going up in USD, but its purchasing power has not. So if you want to compare it to something that has relatively little inflation, that maintains a relative constant purchasing power, you can't get better than gold, right? And then you're going to be like, okay, Bitcoin hasn't been increasing. And now you want to do, now to your comment right here, if you want to take, right, because you mentioned the tops, right? So 127, right? And like I'm saying, I just did this, but if you join late, yeah, here you are. So if you do like this, right, this is last cycle's top compared to this cycle's top. And then you're going to be like, okay, how much did Bitcoin increase between last cycle and this cycle, right? Bitcoin only increased in purchasing power and in value by 9%. I mean, it sounds like a lot when you say, okay, it went from 68K in 2021 to 127, or I think it was 126, right? And whatever, 126, and this year in 2025, you're like, wow, these 4 years, Bitcoin almost doubled. Well, no, it doubled in USD because of inflation. Everything has almost doubled. Everything. And I was doing this example, every single goddamn thing, food, right? Like I said, I have to buy a new hot water heater, right? Everything, the plumbing jobs, everything is like almost double what it was from 5 years ago. Everything is almost doubled, right? The same amount of money, so the same amount of Bitcoin that if I wanted to pay the plumber in Bitcoin 5 years ago, would be a similar amount of Bitcoin today, right? It's just that the purchasing power of Bitcoin, is relatively the same. I mean, it's dumping right now because you got the 4-year cycle zombie saying the cycle is over, and they're creating like an artificial suppression of the market, keeping us below the 50-week moving average. I mean, that's a different story. So it's going down now in purchase power just because people think that bear market is starting. So, and that's going to correct. That's going to correct. And it's going to be like a slingshot upward soon enough. But it really didn't increase. I mean, the price of Bitcoin increased in USD, but the price of Bitcoin in gold really didn't increase, right? Because the purchasing power of Bitcoin didn't increase too much. Right, well, 9%. You know, it wasn't. So that's why the actual bull run has yet to come, is yet to get started. And as soon as we see, as soon as we see this, let me where's right here, the brush, right? As soon as, so this right here is going to start going up. Maybe I should get rid of this one right here. So this right here, let's change this to green, right? So this is me just making an example PMI, right? And then let's draw another one. And Bitcoin is going to go up afterwards. And I don't know, let's change it to blue or something. But as soon as PMI starts going up, Bitcoin is going to go up afterwards. And that's when the real increase of value, that's where we're going to see the increases of purchasing power of Bitcoin. That's when the real pumps start, not the idea that it's keeping up with inflation. That's when the real value increases. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm here to help, man. Yeah, I say this. I think sometimes I say these things a lot, and I think that maybe I'm saying it too much because I might have people watching all my videos and then they might get tired of me saying the same thing. But then there's other people. For those of you who see me say this stuff a lot, you know, there are people out there that doesn't, you know, that haven't seen this already. So I mean, it's you know, I just one day I was like, wait a minute, I was like, you know, USD has been, because I was thinking about this hot water heater scenario, right? We got a whole old hot water heater in this house where I've normally been at my house in Alabama more like 80% of the year, and in New York less, but this year it's flipped around. I'm in New York a whole lot more, and I never really I don't know, maintained or repaired things. And I'm like, oh, I got an old hot water heater here. I wonder if I need to change it. So then I'm like, you know, that's why I go in to think about how much it cost, and it costs like almost double the price of 5 years ago. And I'm like, wait a minute, Bitcoin's price is like the top of this cycle is almost double of last cycle. But does that really mean that the value of Bitcoin has increased? And then I was like, okay, let me just see if I can compare it to gold. And I was like, oh my God, it only increased by 9%. It really wasn't that much after all. So, yeah. I mean, it is yet to come. And I think that, yeah, look, last year, the low for Bitcoin was 38K. The Bitcoin is up 120%. When in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, it's going to be like this. My price prediction, and obviously this is not financial advice, I'll punch you in the goddamn balls. Just in case the algorithm didn't hear me. Hey, this isn't financial advice. Because it's not financial advice, but I think that, you know, we're going to probably encounter a lot of resistance going back up because people are still selling like crazy. Let's go back to USD. We might get a lot of resistance in January, getting above the 100K mark. And you know, speaking of which, I always have these tabs open of the long-term holders. I can do like this. So yeah, it's dropping off. This is good news. So the 4-year cycle zombies, they're either a lot more of them have less Bitcoin to cash out, or a lot of them are coming to their senses, because you can visually see that people are selling less of their supply. So long-term holders are selling less. And And if you go to this chart, there's a few of them. There's like 4 tabs here. There's 2 of them I like to go to. Oh yeah, hit that like button, guys. Totally hit that like button. And so the last 6 months, I might as well go to the last 3 months. So these are short-term holders. What was it? I forgot what it was. A short-term holder is defined as somebody who has held their Bitcoin for less than 155 days. So it's not much, right? So it's less than a year. But and these are long-term holders that are selling at a loss, and these are short-term holders. Obviously, they're selling at a loss. So it's just a matter of these guys just losing everything they got and transferring it to the rest of us who don't believe in the 4-year cycle theory, as well as to the institutions, because the people that the billionaires, and the institutions, the ones that have more than 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallets, they're buying Bitcoin from these guys that are selling. The ones who believe that the cycle is over and they might as well sell everything because we're going to a 12-month long crypto winter, they're selling to the institutions, to the ones, right? So some of these guys, they might have like 10 Bitcoin or 100 Bitcoin, and they're selling to the ones who have like 1,000 Bitcoin or 10,000 Bitcoin. So once this is over with, then we have no reason for the price to be suppressed. So the price is being suppressed right now because of just a massive amount of people selling, and the institutions laughing at these gullible idiots who think there's a 4-year cycle because they keep buying from them. So they're buying, Bitcoin for cheap. So there's no reason why they would want to take the market, take the price back up. If you're going to get people selling and selling like crazy, and keep the price down. And once that ends, we're going to go up. Now, I think that we're still probably, the scenario is the price went below the 50-week moving average 2 weeks in a row, and therefore it confirmed with a lot of these 4-year cycle zombies that we're in a bear market and a crypto winter. So they started selling. So they keep us below the 50-week moving average. But they expect, a lot of them are going to expect, here, let's bring up the 50-week moving average. Right? Do I have this on the day or the week? Yeah, okay. So was I viewing the chart the whole time before in the daily rather than the weekly? I should have done that. Anyways. But yeah, this is here, let me grab something. So the 50-week moving average is, is going to be like this. So what these guys are expecting, they're expecting something like this. They're going to be like, oh, change this to like a green. They're going to be like, oh, there's going to be a dead cat bounce. So let's ride it up and then sell when it gets up there. And they're going to bring it back down and cause the dead cat bounce. So it could be like this until we finally break above, which is, which could be a while, in my guess, is my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong, right? But it's like the whole thing in August where everybody thought there was going to be a red September because every post-halving year has a red September. So they started selling in August, so they wouldn't be, that they wouldn't be involved in that red September, and they turned August red, and September turned out to be green. So they caused it. So the same thing right here. They're causing us to be below the 50-week moving average because they keep selling. And if they're expecting a dead cat bounce, right, they're going to cause it, because once we get up at least a little bit, they're going to say, okay, the dead cat bounce is here. Let me sell. And they're going to take us back down again. So when they're completely out, like if either if somebody talks some sense into them, or if they're just out of Bitcoin to sell, then we're going to break through. Now, there is an anomaly. I mean, if let's say we break through sometime in January or late January, you have to consider that we have this situation. I mentioned this briefly at the end of my video yesterday that I published, that there could be another government shutdown on January 30th. So we could be going through that shit all over again, man. So yeah, we could we could be going back down again. So in January. So don't expect that. This is why I'm saying I'm not a 4-year cycle zombie where I'm like extremely bearish that we're going through a crypto winter. I'm also not a person that says we're going to hit a new all-time high like in January. Like I don't even know. We could break above the 50-week moving average, so we might go above 100K, but then we might just come back down again on January 30th, or maybe a week before, when people start expecting it to happen, the government shutdown to happen. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, see how it plays out. But even if we do have a pump, even if we do go up to 100K, like next week or something, I mean, that's enough to kick off a nice rally, right? And like I started this this live stream right here, and I was touting my incredibly ripping pippin. This is for the year. Look at that. Look at that. Like, ooh. This is one of my plays. This is up like 50x in the last like 4 to 5 weeks. Right? And I called this in January. Like we've been swing trading it ever since. It's been freaking crazy. So in my community, over this bear market, over these last like 4 or 5 weeks, we've hit like a 50x, or I don't know what it was. Maybe it could be a little bit more on Pippin. We hit a 10x on Folks Finance. We did like a 15x on Russell on base, the meme coin that I called Russell earlier this year. Because I called a few dogs earlier this year because I knew that Coinbase was going to give a spot listing to a meme coin on base, and Dog and Me was one of them. So we did a nice like 10x on Dog and Me that day too. But Russell was a nice contender. But it just got a whole bunch of centralized exchanges. So, and we did another one I don't want to expose publicly yet, but we did a 10x on another DJ and play that I called back in August. But that's the reason why I'm saying all this, is because if we get a nice rally, if we go up, if Bitcoin goes up to 100K, over the course of a week, it just goes up, we're going to get something, and at least a few of my tokens in my group, they're going to pump like crazy. And only not just one of them. I would imagine like a good handful, right? Bitcoin goes from what is it right now? Let's go about coin market cap. Bitcoin goes from, is it 87 right now, to 100 within a week. We're probably going to get like a couple of 10x's or 50x or something like that. What did I just do? Oh, trending. So I'm looking forward to it. If you guys want to get in on some of that action, man, I'm telling you, man, we got the best community in the world. I should show you Russell, how I knew Russell and Pippin be ripping. Russell in the house here. Let me open up my Discord. Yeah. So for those of you guys who don't know, we're just joining the live stream. So yeah, my community, we track everything. That's why I'm Code Monkey Mike, right? I'm not Crypto Mike, right? Because I build a really cool software that helps us make tons of money, right? So Russell has gotten a ton of centralized exchanges, right? You know, like one shot. So it got 3, and then it got Mexi, it got XT, Albit. We track everything in my community. So Pippin was going through the same thing. So it was like started in November. It just started getting exchange listing after exchange listing, and it just be ripping. Like, okay, no wonder going from a 10 million market cap to like 500 million, right? And we be tracking all this, right? And Pippin was one of the calls that was found by my insider alert, one of my highly advanced bots that goes out and scans every single goddamn coin that comes into existence and everything about them. Everything they got going on, their price action, their funding, their founding, their activity on X, what they're doing, everything. And Pippin was called by the insider alert. Russell was just one of them. It was called by me because I was looking for a dog. I was looking for a dog on base, but yeah. So every day we get a report of coins that are going to pump like hell, in a particular channel. And yeah, I'll show you right here on the left-hand side. We just crazy amounts of software. If one bot doesn't find one of these tokens, another one will. That's how we get in on almost every single goddamn coin that pumps. Every single time you see a giant green circle in crypto bubbles, you can try to take a guess that me and my community got it. We even got all-time high alerts. We got crazy amounts of stuff. But yeah, I mean, tons of stuff. And we got swing trading software, right? So you can log into my community. Let me go back to the browser. So you can log into my website using the WAP. Here's my showcase. You got a 550x and MYX. Did this in like 4 months, right? So called this in May at a 6 million market cap, pumped to 3 billion in September, right? 550x, that's the biggest one. But we have a members section where you can actually log into the website. And here we got swing trading software. So I've been swing trading Pippin this entire year, building up my bag, selling high, buying back in low, just keeps on buying back in. So I have the most successful community in existence, and I dare you to find one that is better than mine. And if you do, the first person who does, it's $1,000. And I've had this bounty open for well over a year now. And I just keep on making more and more successful plays. So how much is your community? Do you say when to buy and sell? Yeah, I got buy and sell alerts. Yeah, totally. How much? Yeah, I mean, I'll go right here. Yeah, I have, I try to create some new prices, some Black Friday deals because, and keeping them open for a while. Like I have this premium membership where, it includes all of that, all the software and all the buy alerts, all the, everything you saw. Plus, you can contact me and DM me in a one-on-one basis. And I created this VIP membership for a little bit less money, but just you can't DM me because, the more members I get, it's going to be more and more difficult to have, to be dealing with DMs from people like all the time. So, plus, if you want the lifetime membership, it is at an extremely low price, considering that it's $649 for lifetime and it's $699 for the year. So it makes absolutely no sense to buy the yearly. Might as well just get in for the lifetime. And yeah, we're doing pretty damn good in there. And the absolute goal of all this and why we get all this, so look, so you look at Pippin. So we did a 52x, right? Because this page is dynamic. It keeps track of when we got in and and when the all-time high was, right? Seeing it's called by the insider alert. So this is Pippin be ripping. I don't think I put Russell in here. Yeah, I got to add in Russell to this page, and then the multipliers would be dynamic, but I think Russell's in here. Folks is here. See, Folks Finance 10x. Advantis, we did a lot of these in September and October. It's crazy, right? So a lot of them were May and June. This is May, June. This is, I guess, Lorenzo Protocol. I don't know when we did that. It was called roughly the same time of MYX. Well, we only did a 6x, but we did a 552x. And then Hyperlane, yeah, same thing. I don't know. Tokaboo was a brief DGen play. Dog and Me was March. Midas was September, October. Advantis was September. Folks was in this bear market in December, right? This was back in like the May time period, because we had a nice rally coming out of the tariff season fiasco in May. That ended in April, so we just went upward in May and so on. I Love Puppies, a DGen play that did a quick 15x. O'Malley, JYAI did 21x back when we called it earlier in the year, almost down to its original price. So we called it a 1 million market cap. Giggle Fun was October. Disco 47x was in October. It's crazy, right? That's why I say, give me a rally. Give me a rally. I'm talking too much. I think I'm going to have to end this stream soon because my throat's getting dry. I was like, give me a rally. Send Bitcoin from 87K to 100K within a week. And then I'm going to be adding more. I'm going to be adding more tokens on this page because we're going to do crazy amounts of multipliers, right? Yeah, man. You too, man. Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year. Yeah, very wealthy New Year. Yeah, I hope so, yeah. Give me a rally. It's like I'm saying, give me a rally. I want a rally. I want to put more top performing assets on this page, man, so I can tout them all. Give me a rally. Yeah. What else we got going on here? And top performing assets, and so you guys know the absolute goal of my group is to get us on one of these goddamn things right here. On a nice, beautiful yacht. And all of us would be chilling one day, just trading crypto on something like this. Look how beautiful. One day, man, we're gonna get something like this. There's no doubt about that. With these type of gains, and we keep rotating out, like this is right. Oops. This right here is de-aging AI right here, right? AIA. 127, I thought it was 130, but yeah, roughly, right? It's 127x. And I cashed out. I don't know if I put like, there was multiple ups and downs taking profits, right? And one of those profit takings, I rotated, I think I rotated like $25 into 25 different coins in the community just to spread it out or rotate it out, just to have more money in all these other tokens. And you keep doing that, and then you get another 130x on top of that. And man, you're just crushing it. You're going to end up in one of these easily, man. Totally. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of being a software guy who loves to make code for his community, right? We're talking about gold, right? Bitcoin versus gold versus I recently started this I started investigating just recently, like yesterday. I was and so on. I start because we make a killing with the swing trading. So I figured, what if we sort of like DCA, and I'm calling it strategic DCA, into Bitcoin, into Kaspa, right? But we switched before. It's like a swing trade, but we're not just holding it as dry powder, right? I'm doing Bitcoin like I want a DCA into Bitcoin on Kraken, right? And on the pumps going to take profit, I'm going to switch it over to USDG where you can earn 4% interest. And I guess we're basing the trades on the 50-day moving average, right? Not the 50-week, but the 50-day moving average. But developing a strategy out of that, just today I created the new categories in the channels in my Discord. So and then for Kaspa, so that's Bitcoin on Kraken. I'm going to do Kaspa on an uphold, and on uphold you can get like 3.75% interest if you hold USD, cash on uphold. So I'm going to be doing that whole swing trading and DCAing on uphold for Kaspa, but I had to apply to get the interest rate, like the interest rate account, the USD interest rate account. So I did that today, and hopefully they said it's going to be 24 hours or something like that. So we'll see. Plus, you can also have other options. You can do it on one key, and you can deposit amounts into stable coins via the DeFi protocols like Aave and Morpho. So maybe I'll do that too. But we'll see. I guess the whole idea is that you keep DCAing, but you're strategically cashing out and holding it in a high interest account. And then you buy back in at the right possible time because we're basing it off of a moving average. And over time, the idea is, let's say in 2 years, you should have, at least in Bitcoin, at least a good 10x for this DCA strategy. Maybe Kaspa would be like a 50x or, whatever, we'll see what happens. But it's better than just randomly. Here's the thing. This is better than just randomly DCAing every single week the same amount of money. So for example, I had this automatic deposit on Uphold to buy Kaspa for like $200. It was $245 a week for like a year and a half. And this was all through the whole time period when Kaspa was pumping to like 18 cents, 20 cents. And then, in the summertime, I stopped and I was like, does it really make any sense? Because I left it buying it at 20 cents when I thought it was going to be like 50 cents 6 months later, but it never happened. So, and then this year we just developed all this swing trading software, and we've become so freaking successful this year, the swing trading software, the swing trading in my community. So I'm like, why don't I just merge like a hybrid of that where you're doing a DCA plus you're doing the swing trading, like a whole new strategy. So link in the description below if you want to get in on that. We're developing a strategy now. Yeah, I'll catch you later, man. Yeah. Or at least enough money to go on a trip to afford that. Yeah, right? To afford that? Yeah, totally. I mean, easily, right? To go on a trip on a cruise? Yeah. I'm talking about having a yacht for ourselves. Like my group and my community we're all going to be on that big boat on one of those things, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's another one from Kaspa Daily. Wallet number 10 added another 1.5 million Kaspa, bringing the total to 223 million Kaspa. Wow. Amazing. No visible reaction from price so far. Yeah. See what it is if it's Binance. The bear market when fortunes are made for your first time. Yeah, as I'm saying, millionaires are made in the bear market. You got all these people right now, they're checking out a crypto because they think that the bear market is when you're supposed to leave it, man. This is the time when you're supposed to be in it. Even like me, like swing trading my tokens at the bottom just to build my bags. It's just, that's when you get in. You imagine you have a token that in the long run, it's going to do a 20x. Or if you just hodl, if you just buy it and hold it to the top of the bull run, it's going to do a 20x. But if you've been swing trading that bad boy for like a year, you might actually 5x the amount of tokens you have, you know, regardless of the dollar amount, right? So, you know, you're selling high and you're buying back in low, right? You're selling high, you have some dry powder, and then when it comes back down, you buy back in low. So you increase the amount of tokens you got. So you can actually 5x the amount of tokens you got. So in the long run, when you get that 20x at the top of the bull run, you have 5 times the amount of tokens. So now you're doing 100x. So, you know, you're going to be like,
oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
You know, like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Right? And then my community has all the software that makes it really, really easy. So, yeah. Will Bitcoin reach or exceed 100K by February 1st? Yeah, I think it's going to be hitting that 100K mark and encountering a lot of resistance. Even if it breaks through above 100K, probably come back down end of February, end of January. But yeah, we'll see. But this is realistic. 100K by February 1st is very realistic. Probably in January. So we'll see. And I think this is enough. This is all I want for Christmas. This is all I want for Christmas. Something like this. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna cut it short right now. My throat is killing me right now. I'll catch you guys later, and make sure you guys click that link in the description below to join the greatest community on the planet, right? Oh yeah, I got Schwarzenegger here.
And that's why Code Monkey Mike has the greatest crypto community on the planet.
There you go. He said it. So
Code Monkey, Code Monkey.